Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the Seercast. I am Epi Knight, and today I'm here with Balor.
Hi.
Shiraki.
I'll be right back, guys. 10 minutes, I swear.
In before, after the podcast is over. Hey guys, I'm here for the podcast. Orange.
What's that muncher? Sarah Doman's been arrested for shoplifting?
Lime.
FSDFS.
Gina.
The Zaru, it hurts.
Herc. Fang.
If you're still experiencing technical difficulties, terms and conditions may still apply.
Thorla.
Soylent Green is people!
You what? And also, spoiler alert, Walter and Hablet are in the chat. So, today we have a decent amount to talk about. We're going to talk about the latter half of October, especially the Broken Home Quest, which came out last week, or this week I should say. And we'll be looking forward to the November BTS with some nice stuff coming up. But we're going to start with some of the smaller stuff in the latter half of October. First thing to mention is Smarter Familiars. This has been needed for, I don't know, 3, 4, 6 years.
Since Summoning came out?
Yeah, pretty much.
2007.
They join you in battle as soon as you start fighting, which is something that should have happened to begin with. They defend you when you're attacked, which is useful.
Summoning is no longer a spectator sport.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. They defend you when you're attacked, which is useful in the living rock caverns. They switch on the target when you do, unless you tell them not to. They use special moves automatically. They do other nice stuff.
If you tell them to attack a certain target, you can basically kill 2 at a time by sending your familiar at one while you murder the other.
Also, apparently, Talon Beasts are totally ridiculously OP again.
They're stupid. It's beautiful.
It's great.
They ignore defense.
It's great.
I mean,
use them for Iroots.
That is exactly what you use them for.
If this update came out when Summoning was first released, I probably wouldn't be scarred for Summoning for life, and I would actually use it in combat.
Well, what's
nobody
interesting
used it in combat though. It was always the support things that people use.
Well, since now that Protect from Summoning only has familiar damage by 50% instead of the full 100 as it used to be, this means that if you use a good combat familiar in the wilderness, you will win, because forge regions in the wilderness are overpowered.
What the hell is a forge regent?
Their special attack, their scroll.
What is the wilderness?
Yeah, their scroll removes your equipped weapons and shields.
Oh god.
Oh dang.
Oh god.
You can spam it.
Rip.
Oh god.
And then sit there and attack that person.
Rip.
Oh god.
So now that the Forge Regent can't be completely blocked by Protect from Summoning, it will almost always hit damage on you, and thus the spell will trigger.
Oh god.
And,
Well,
slippery fingers.
Well, us here at the Seercast just broke PvP, in case it wasn't already broken. It was probably already broken, but it's okay.
What's this, Walter says that it can be used to kill implings and trees?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You can kill
I figured I'd let
trees?
Walter. Walter, I figured I'd let Pi kill me instead of you.
Anyways, but yeah, so summoning rework, or I guess not rework, but smarter summoning familiars.
Yeah.
A nice new addition. I've used Granite Lobsters to solo things attacking me in the rock caverns many times now, and it's great. I just sit back and let my little lobster go, while it's still collecting stuff for me.
The funniest part about this is, for ages, people complained that they needed to straight buff, all the familiars, they all need damage buffs and stuff, when really all they needed was an AI buff.
Yeah, they just needed to be smarter.
Most of the familiars, combat familiars, are actually really strong now, because they what you're asking them to do.
Because they understand.
Yeah. They don't take another 5 minutes to join in combat, because by the time they used to join in combat, we're already 3 monsters ahead of them.
Yep.
So, it really, evolution of summoning isn't necessarily as needed anymore.
Yeah, Walter says Steel Titan with a ton of summoning potions equals Lel.
Oh my god. It's not even fair. But it was a great update. Plus, I mean, there's the, you can deposit into your BOB from your bank now.
Oh yeah, that's a thing now too, isn't it?
That came recently with Ninja, but it was like...
I think that was before our last podcast, but it was good. It's good too.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Except it still doesn't work with freaking Abyssal Familiars.
Yeah, I know.
Or when they're hiding. Or apparently when they're hiding. So like in the GE.
Yeah, I mean, you can have them in Prithnos. Who uses the GE anymore? I mean...
Well, I mean, plebs that don't have level 75 in, like, all skills.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't have...
AK Valor.
I don't have level 75 in all skills anymore.
He's not here, or he's not talking right now, so it's
he's
okay.
Not talking, so we get to make fun of him.
We get to make fun of him.
Nice. Alright, I can still hear you.
You know.
Damn it!
Oh, we know.
I mean, yes, we know. Anyways, but yeah, so Smarter Familiars is a thing. Iron Man, also a thing. It's nice when you see somebody with like 1k total level die and you can type in clan chat 3 letters. R-I-P. That's about all I use Iron Man for.
And then spend the next 20 minutes laughing to yourself about how that poor person must feel.
Oh yeah, it's great. Anyways, yeah, I have no interest in Iron Man really, because my account is entirely half Iron Man as it is, like, but yeah.
If I didn't have a second account, I probably would have done it, but I have a second account, so there's no point.
Yeah, you did all sorts of stuff with the Quest Cup, so yeah.
I don't want to train another account.
Yeah. Don't
To
blame
be
you.
honest, what even is a bank account, given all the different, like, lore papers and lore, like, quest rewards? I, like, literally cannot fit anything into my bank anymore. I don't...
Just look at Gina's bank, okay?
I have 50 spaces. Like,
I still need to get all the bank boosters.
I have bank
I haven't bought a single one.
I only
I
have
got the free one
booster that was free.
Yep, same.
Same.
So
But, probably 50, 60 spaces right now.
also was it the Halloween event that they actually had to nerf because Iron Man accounts were abusing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was no
The
limit
lamps.
to how many lamps you could buy.
Hang on, guys. Be right back.
And World 2 was just abusing demonics, so basically you could get a
Still
lamp
is abusing
once every
demonics, but
3 minutes. Well, see, Iron Man can't buy the basic lamps anymore, and you can only buy 5 per day.
gotcha.
So, I mean, it was patched pretty quickly, but yeah, for the opening hour and a half or so, people were getting 30, 40k XP every 5 minutes, if not faster than that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well done. Anyways, okay, so that's Iron Man. I don't think any of us here actually have Iron Man accounts. I know that Robo does, but he hasn't been on in a while, and
Carmen Taika has one, but he's not involved in the Seercast.
he's not in the Seercast. Yeah, I think that's all of our connections with it. Like
Yeah, we have a
Walter and
couple
stuff. Oh, Walter technically has one, but then stopped caring after testing.
We have a couple Iron Men that have been popping up.
Because
in
Walter is
stripes.
actually GLaDOS, and is obsessed with testing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
This
Water is banned OS.
but yeah. So there's also the Ghost and Beast drop rework that happened. 10 Beasts got their drops changed, as well as the Ghosts. They introduced the attuned ectoplasmator, which is basically a bone crusher for ghosts.
there's the new boots.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
Dark
there's new
Beast-
boots too.
Dark Beasts are now more valuable
40.
than cats.
Dark Beasts drop a death talisman like every other kill.
Yes, Dark Beasts are now more worth killing than cows. And the sad part is that's actually a thing. It
Hilariously,
used to be less
I
valuable
honestly
than cows.
really believe they were actually really good beforehand, and they just made them even better. I mean, they weren't a solid moneymaker, but
they
were
were
great XP.
terrible moneymaker. Like,
well, I mean, I got a couple mil doing just like 2 levels on them. because they have a pretty decent rare drop table, access rather. So I mean, this makes them actually worth being such a high level Slayer creature. They did a pretty decent job of buffing them.
Yeah.
My one complaint is that they didn't add, I was really hoping they'd add level 90 power boots to them, you know? That's what I was originally expecting with boots. But, I mean, filling in the 40, 50, and 60 ranger boot slot was really, really good of them.
Yeah, because there was nothing between 30 and 70, as far as I can remember.
Yeah. You had ranger boots,
yeah,
which are 1.2 mil, and then you had snakeskin boots, and I think that was about it.
Yeah.
So now there are Basilisk, Turoth, and Karask boots.
Yep. You have a higher chance of getting them on task.
Yep. They're also not super expensive, which is even better. Basilisk boots are just about 17k right now. Turoth boots are about 130k, and Karask boots are 315k. Okay, I lied about them not being super expensive, but they're not bad.
I mean, they're no abyssal wands, but
yep. Especially because the level 61s are 350k. It's a nice drop.
Yep, not bad.
For Karasks, that certainly gives them a bit more of a.
Wait, Karasks have a nice drop. Sell wands.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah, so that's the drop reworks.
I don't know these creatures you're talking about.
The Halloween event, as we mentioned this a little bit before, basically you go bother Death, and he says, "Oh, there's stuff invading my house that are apparently Krandorian ghosts." Right, sent by quote unquote Meslar the Mad.
Ghosts.
Thanks, Lime. But yeah, so his house is being invaded by ghosts, and where our job is to go and ghost bust them.
I don't understand how this is possible if Meslar is dead. Or
Melzar isn't dead, he was
Melzar.
he merely transformed himself into a cabbage to escape.
Yep.
Duh.
Yep.
It's legit.
That is so legit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically the description of the event, as Walter has written it, is Melzar the Mad is trying to gain control over Death's domain, so he can bring the lost back during those lost during Elvarg's killing spree back.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not possible because they're already in the afterlife.
Well, they weren't.
And Amoscut already ate them.
I already nommed.
Nom 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 nom. Anyways, munch munch munch.
Oh, so that's where a Amascut was, recovering from that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like a feast, man.
Anyways, but yeah, so the Halloween event is basically you log into World 2, you grab your ectoplasmator, you fight lag, and you get infinite points.
Yep.
I mean, you pretty much log into World 2 and you've got all rewards that aren't the daily trophy things in about 20 to 30 minutes. It's obscene.
Yeah.
I did my first day on World 100, and then every day after that, and by every day after that I mean one day, on World 2, and it was like, oh my god.
I got the chest plate, I got the chest and the head on World 100, and then somebody mentioned World 2, and I'm like, why did I not even think of that?
Yeah, I know, right?
And then I hop on there, and I got the cremation and the boots in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was ridiculous enough that that the world actually had a queue. Or has had a queue on multiple occasions. Never when I tried
to hop
get
to
in.
it, and I'm like, why can't I connect? And then I go to lobby, and it was full, and I'm like, oh, that's
yeah.
new.
It was at 1950 twice when I tried to jump on there.
I've legitimately not seen a world be full for years, so that was a bright shock.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day at reset, there's a 250 person queue to get into the
Dear
world.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the worlds haven't been full since they nuked all the bots for the second time.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Nice to see. But there's so much lag, it's obscene.
Yeah.
Basically, you have to stand in certain spots, or it decides it's going to load every single player in the area.
Well, if you stand anywhere actually where the demons spawn, you're fine. Cause it doesn't spawn anything, it doesn't load anything.
It loads a little 9x9 square of players.
No, it doesn't even do that. It loads
for me.
Players underneath you, and that's it.
Oh geez, I get a little 9x9 square.
No, I don't even get that.
When I go to turn in my rewards at death, every single
yes.
player in the freaking house loads.
That is
and I sat there for
what
maybe
happened.
10 minutes until the reward screen finally
A
opens.
9x9
can't
square or
even
like
out.
a 3x3?
It's probably 3x3.
Yeah, you're 3x3. Derp. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
But yeah,
that makes sense.
It's kind of ridiculous and kind of
Mhm.
hilarious.
Pretty much every player on that world is there.
But
That
yeah,
works.
and even during bonus XP weekend, it's been still full, completely full.
It's literally faster XP than anything else. Because you get those 5 lamps. They're 20, 30k XP each. They're large lamps. You get 5 of them.
Yeah, you get them real quick. But
Mm.
and Lime has apparently punched himself in the gabber. Good job, Lime.
Yeah,
Just thought I'd-
a Macy's ad just popped up, and my mom was yelling about stuff. So,
But yeah, so that's the Halloween event. Anything else anybody want to say about that?
I'm actually super curious. Have they actually stated how we get the Ghost Hunter gear back after the event leaves?
I expect Diango.
I think
Because it's actually level 70 hybrid gear. It's pretty good.
I
Probably
think it's
Diango.
gonna drop those is what they said. Like a rare drop, like the
Oh yeah, what they did say that. I think it was going to be a
Okay.
super rare drop on from Ghosts.
Okay, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
assume
Similar
you've
to the
got-
ectoplasm.
the rarity goes down.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
one more thing. Apparently Havlet got he got the Ghostbusters theme stuck in his head because of all the people who said that they got the Ghostbusters theme stuck in their head because of this update.
Rip.
Oh,
And
meta.
now I have the Ghostbusters theme stuck in my head. Thanks, Lime.
Da, 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 da.
Anyways, before we get the Ghostbusters theme stuck in all of our viewers' heads, rip.
And
Um,
before we get taken down for copyright,
That too.
Awesome.
We're gonna move on to the
such a good seer.
Gothixian caches, the new divination D&D. Pretty much every 3 hours you access a cache. You can do stuff there, and
you basically
Get
grab
stuff.
memories from the wall and run them to the thingy in the middle while dodging the automatons.
Yeah. pretty much. You can get a variety of boosts. One's for portents, one's for divine locations, one's for converting all of your memories at once.
The cool thing is you can turn into Cress.
Yes,
That's
that.
why you play this, is to turn
And
into Cress.
I think the most important part about this is the fact that the ninjas totally missed an amazing opportunity for lore.
Mhm.
But we wouldn't expect anything less.
I mean, it could be an amazing opportunity for lore, but then again, I feel like it wouldn't be because Crest was locked in a dungeon for, 6,000 years?
Did
I
that
mean, the
really
title is Gothixian Caches, and we get no information out of it.
Yeah, we got nothing. We
That's
got
the
actually
best
nothing.
It's like the title literally sounds like we're delving into Gothix's memories and his library. So what do? Is we take them, we don't even bother to look at them, and we toss them into the thingy in the middle.
It doesn't matter that Cress has been locked up in a whatever for 6,000 years. Why couldn't it have been from second or third age when he was not locked up? I guess it was second
Exactly.
age. Why couldn't it have been first age?
I didn't even think that he'd be created yet.
He was.
Yep. Apparently you can't buy lore with Gothixian cash. Okay.
It's unfortunate. Maybe we can Twitter spam Anna and see if she'd be kind enough to find it within the ninja's budget to add like a lore book to it.
Really all we need is a lore book.
Well,
Just
aren't we supposed to?
anything about Cress, because he's the guardian that we know the least about. And this
We're
was-
supposed to get a lore and history
Yeah.
about him though.
Yeah, that
That's
would've been a
true, I
perfect
forgot about
service.
that. They actually did say they were lore and historying this, so maybe that'll come. Oh, maybe that's.
Yeah,
what's
maybe
coming
we
out
should
this
just be
week.
patient.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
would have been nice if they'd
Back and stuff
come
on
out
it.
together, so it was like actually
Yeah.
a thing.
Apparently, according to their schedule, Gothixian Caches was actually pushed back to November, and then the ninjas were pro and got it done in time for October anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it is
imagining
kind of weird that you have a quest and a D&D update at once.
Yeah,
That's
I was like,
really...
update. Since when do those happen?
That does not
It
happen.
basically, it was supposed to come out a couple weeks prior, and they ran into some sort of bug.
Mhm.
It was delayed, and they're like, "Yeah, it's going to be November." And then all the ninjas were like, "Nope, we're done."
Nope!
It came out.
Just assemble.
It's Fiara.
My guess is the Lores and Histories is just going to come out on Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
Well, one can hope.
I would love that. I would really like that.
But alright, so, is there anything else we need to say? I mean, there isn't much to the cache. It's pretty simple. The boosts, you can get them for up to 20 minutes. So they're not permanent, they're not, even the porter buff isn't really useful unless you're LRC mining or like fly fishing. But who uses porters at fly fishing anyway?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, Walter, is there.
Yeah.
Walter said you can't even choose when to activate them.
It's similar to the familiarization, where it starts the second you leave.
Yeah. Well, no, you choose after you leave. You get a selection of the reward. You can either get the triple charm, or you can get
not
the box.
familiarization. The
shooting stars.
Yes, those.
And
Evil Tree.
Does Evil Tree have that? I can't remember.
Yep.
Yeah,
it has auto banking of logs for you.
Oh yeah, it does. So it's like those two. So I mean, yeah.
The other thing I care about with Glyphixian caches is you start them by jumping into a divination rift. That's awesome. That's cool. They should keep doing that for things, because, I mean, it's memories. We should be like, it's a pensive. We should be jumping into the pensive and seeing cool things.
It'd be cool. But
that would be very, very.
Anyways, I think that pretty much covers what we want to do with the Divot D&D. So let's move on to Broken Home. And before Fang starts going off on whatever rant / discussion that's going to get him punched by Lime, going to quickly cover the basics of the quest. You're placed, I guess not placed, but you find the maid of a haunted house or one of the servants, and she says, we've got a problem. You go in, you try and solve said problem, you're stuck in there, it's a horror quest. And there are multiple Seercasters that streamed it. I streamed it. It should be up on my YouTube by the time the Seercast is uploaded itself. So
Valor also streamed it, and I was in call with him at the time, so you got to hear my reaction as well.
And Jack and Stu were both in your Twitch.
It was only Jack.
Only
Jack.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But that was cool.
Hey, Fang, do you hear this?
Can you stop cracking nuts? It's making me very uncomfortable.
Oh dear.
I'm very hungry, Lime.
But yeah, so yeah, Broken Home, you go through the quest, you've got the old owner of the house, Ormod, went insane and killed everybody, and then the new owner, what was his name, Ingram? Yeah, Ingram came in, tried to figure out what was going on, then realized that
He's made a huge mistake.
Yeah, he made a grave error. Mistakes were made, and
he made a slight boo boo.
Yeah, a slight boo boo.
Can we take a moment to laugh at Ormod's last name being Ghoulvas, as in ghoul, which is basically what he became?
Yep.
Ha ha ha! Nice pun, guys.
Well done.
I didn't notice the pun while the chair was flying at me.
Well, that chair was OP, man. That chair crashed my live stream.
Seriously?
No, my internet died. But it was while I was talking about the chair, and while I was trying to dodge the chair, that wasn't actually probably any threat.
See, I kept catching the ghost in it out of the corner of my eye, and then when I would look, it would be gone.
Oh, I saw it when I peeked into the room. I was looking right at him, and Ormod popped up and then disappeared. And I was like, oh, okay. So, and then when I went in and saw the chair moving around, I'm like, oh, okay. Ormod, go away.
I was like certain it was going to attack me.
God,
it never did. Actually.
Yeah,
freaking Ormod was in every goddamn room for me. Like,
I had that happening.
Ormod.
Like, he honestly spawned at least 30 times during the course of my quest. I'm just like, dear God, dude, go away.
Once you figured out that if you look into the room, and once you see him, you can just press in and he just leaves automatically. All you have to do is peek into the room that he's in, and that got him to go away.
He just somehow never stood in front where I wanted to go most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
It required you to click another option and wait like 2 seconds.
He
Yeah.
appeared in
actually,
my
also,
main
if
room
you
4
peek
times.
and then press back immediately, then he goes away from the door.
You don't even have to press back, actually. You can just peek into the room and press forward, and he's gone too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked into the room, and then waited for him to go away, and then pressed forward and went in. Like, I know
When I
the
was
waiting
speed
probably
running,
is
I
irrelevant.
discovered that you didn't even have to wait. You could just go.
Yeah, that's what I was speedrunning too.
Yeah, I just went in, I saw the smoke, went in, got hit by him once, and I was like, okay, I should probably not do that again, and left. And then went back in the right way and never had a problem. It was just like, he just never would go away. It's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you were watching Gordon's live stream, he popped up like 20 times.
He honestly did. It was, oh my god.
like,
And-
he was scary the first couple times, but then once you realized how he was coded, he got a lot less creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
I
there was
liked the way they used him environmentally, like with the chair and such, because
Yeah.
when they started doing things with him that was unpredictable, he got a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
But then there was the, what was that? The maid that just got randomly eaten by
Oh,
the
that was great.
That was awesome.
Through the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had like no idea what was happening there. Now I realize it was from the painting, but
Yeah, it was from the painting.
I just like, I lagged slightly at the start of that.
Oh,
So I
you
walk in
just
and then I
saw
just see
it?
this hand thing come out and then there's just stuff on the ground. I'm like, what
Yeah,
just
like,
happened?
right after that happened, I immediately went, "Eep."
Well, Lime was like dying at one point. Like,
Oh really?
yeah, like
Yeah, I was freaking out.
he was
I don't
freaking out
like scary
way
things.
more than I was, and I don't.
I
do
love
horror.
scary stuff.
I scare
So I
really,
spent the
I
whole
scare
time,
really,
like-
I scare really easily.
Dunas do not.
Yeah, I do
Valor-
too.
yeah.
And that's why I don't like horror stuff. But I was like, after a certain point, like, yeah, I was just like, whatever. When
Then
is
there
this
was
done?
Valor
like-
was laughing at me so much because he and Runic were further than I was. So
there was-
they were talking about all these events that were happening and I was just paranoid. I was running around like, this horrible thing's about to happen to me, and he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, you're lying to me, something's gonna happen. And it's like, I wasn't
and then I
scared,
just
I was
made-
just like, I'm gonna do better than all you suckers.
Like,
And
my
then I
friends-
made one line comment that made him paranoid for ages, and it was
Oh my
just,
God.
oh, by the way,
It was-
beware of windows.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
He made that, and then like every time I walked by the windows, I made sure I stood as far away from them because I was certain like that hand thing was gonna bust through a window.
No.
Alright, so here's why I'm really scared of creepy stuff. A couple years ago, my friends made me play every jump scare game out there, so like
Rip.
Slender, SCP, Containment Breach, what is it, Five Nights at Freddy's?
Egypt,
Yeah, I
Dark
know all
Descent.
So while I was playing the Slender, and I was just looking around being paranoid as usual, one of my friends dressed up as a Slenderman, and then he just like was right up in my face. Like he just jumped right in front of my face while I was playing it.
Wrecked.
And I punched him in the gut.
But you didn't punch him in the gabber.
No, I didn't.
I'm disappointed.
No,
I'm
I just
just-
wanted like touch. Like he had the mask and everything on. I didn't want to touch
Touch
like,
it.
his Slender skin.
Oh, jeez.
I was actually, pleasantly surprised about, at the lack of jump scares in the entire quest.
Yes,
Yeah,
like this
good
was
point.
this was good quality creep horror.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was very psychological. which
There was
I
a
did
there was a
not.
couple of the kind of jumpy scares. One of them
Yeah.
being definitely when the hand came through the painting and ate the servant. That was like,
Yeah.
oh holy shit, that just happened.
I think that,
Be there.
I think
Yeah.
that was the thing that showed you like, oh, this is real, and then your mind just thinking that could happen to me at any moment.
Yeah.
And then when
I
Also
wasn't
says
sure
jump
what
scares are
was-
cheap scares.
and
I
then when
wasn't sure what it was setting
Snesianus
up, so I
ate
was
the
like,
ate the waifu, or no, ate Lenian.
ate the little boy.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was-
you're like, oh no, what's happening?
I was like, oh shit. I was again like, oh god, that just happened. And then the
ghostly waifu
scream,
ate you.
and then the room where clearly Maud Anna was tortured. Rip Maud Anna.
Oh yeah, that was a really
Rip Lime.
the mirror room was a really like creepy one.
It
I
wasn't
love
a
that
mirror.
one.
It was just a glass.
Mirror.
It was just a glass window.
I
I
thought it was
went in and out of that like 20 times because I was hoping there was like some mini puzzle that you could do there to get her to talk to you more.
Yeah,
I
same.
I
I
managed to
did not
enter
get
both
it.
sides.
Oh, I did too. I mean, it wasn't hard, but she just swaps position.
Yeah, you come in on one side and you're looking through a window at her. And then you
I did
come in
not-
the other side and you're looking at the other window. Or
I think the most hilarious part about that is if that glass wasn't there, he totally could have eaten you.
nom 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 nom.
I did
Would that
not
glass
dare go
really
into
have
that
stopped
room.
the waifu?
What?
Would that glass really have stopped the waifu?
Probably not.
Yeah, definitely. It's, I mean, it's there for a reason, right? It's
Probably
clearly,
not.
Like,
I took one.
I don't know,
took
it's-
one. I took
It's
one look
ghost-proof.
through the keyhole. I saw the ghostly waif just standing there, and I went like, "Nope."
Why would it be?
I
Why would it be?
peeked through, saw
How would
her.
it be ghost proof? Keep a Clophonian demon from eating you, Walter. Please.
See, I peeked in, saw her, and I'm like, ooh, interaction time. And I popped right in, and I'm like, what do I get to do in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
She
Because
dreamed that
there
this
were-
ghost-
There was a decent number of red herring rooms. That was one of them, and then there's also that locked double door with all the paintings in it that you still can't go in.
Oh yeah, that one.
yeah.
I really
what
don't know
happened.
what's in there.
I wonder what would happen if you brought the enchanted key to that door if they allowed you to take items in.
No, it
That
doesn't.
is
No,
literally
wait.
something that I'm suggesting for Rune Labs as a sequel, where you take the enchanted key down into the asylum and go back in time.
Yes, and I remember Jack carapacked us.
Well,
No.
see, he did not say no. He said go
Yes, he
for
did.
it. He did say go for it.
He said they wouldn't do it unless basically they had to.
Oh dear.
But he was in my friend's chat later, and I mentioned it again. And he's like, "Go for it. Maybe it'll happen."
AK, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
But have fun with that.
Okay, shut up, Fang.
That's basically what it was. Shut up, Fang.
Shut up, Fang. Stop telling me how to do my job.
And of course he won't hear this because he's still not allowed to listen to the podcast at home.
I mean, like,
Ken's not even here. God damn it.
everyone hates time travel at Jagex, apparently.
Well, I mean, why can't he listen to the podcast? He could listen to it at work. That's what Rowley does.
Yeah.
I guess.
He sits there coding and plays it through his speakers at 11, so all the other JMods around have to listen to us ramble.
Nice.
And then suddenly,
Rowley, if you're not actually doing that, start doing that. Start it.
and then suddenly one of us goes, "Ah!" Oh god.
The lime fail is
There it
real.
is.
The fail lime fail.
I'm gonna get comments now from people from the JMods on Twitter like, what the fuck did you do during your Seercast?
Lime actually, like, I don't even know.
Lime woke up the sleeping JMods.
Oh dear. That's probably a good thing, though.
Wake up, J-Mod,
But
you've got
rip-
content to the
But
bruise.
rip Mod Jack's kid.
Yep.
Yeah, anyways, we're totally on topic. But yeah, I'm still curious as to how the glass would keep a Clophonian demon out, but, yeah.
Because it's made of plot armor.
Another thing, since we veered so off topic so quickly, I definitely instigated that. One of the things I loved the most about this quest was the way very little of the story was actually told through dialogue with people. So much of it was you just exploring and going, whoa.
It was similar to the Ashdale
Realizing.
quest in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I just felt like this one succeeded so much more than Ashdale.
Well,
Because
Ashdale
it
was
didn't
like,
have to.
yeah.
It didn't have to introduce an entirely new creature. It just threw you into the mansion, said, you're being chased, don't die.
From
It
my
wasn't
house.
necessarily you're being chased so much as
But you will
You were
don't
going
die.
to
if you're not
Yeah.
cautious.
People
It
have
was
died.
nice.
Oh.
And then it did a really good job of
I
just
think
seeding information.
go
I think
live.
the message was that people who knew more than you died here. Get good luck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
that's a great way to put it.
It's
Yeah.
a shame, really, that Jack's additional lore books weren't actually allowed to be put in.
Yeah,
That-
we'll talk
they
about
will.
that in a little bit.
It's
but
in
yeah.
his budget, or he's trying to fit it into his budget for them to be put
You
in.
know, the interesting thing
translation.
about this type of quest, Lime and I were talking about something similar to this a while back. How like a lot of older quests tended to be a lot of like giving you like kind of
Vague hints.
No. They were kind of forcing you to use a guide. like those really old ones. Like,
oh yeah,
they
that.
would tell you, alright, go get this, go get this, go get this. And then you'd ask, okay, how do I get these?
Yeah,
And
Lime.
the beast
Yeah,
would go, figure it out.
yeah. Lime
And
was
then, like,
saying.
a lot, and then,
Lime
like,
said.
a lot of complaints about the newer quest was that, like,
Yeah.
it was too much, like, hand-holding and stuff like that. So it was
And,
really interesting with this
Prisoner
quest.
of Glue-Free is the one that sticks out to me
Bang! Bang!
Anyways, before either any of you say anything further, what Lime said in chat was specifically,
further.
I know why we don't have more lore noobs in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to become a lore noob, because all those entry-level quests
They
don't,
suck.
suck. And then you get to the mid-level quests, when you finally figure out how to do a quest, it kind of holds your hand, and that turns you off. And now you get to these quests, which are really good, because they struck the right balance. I feel like Jagex was becoming a lot better at striking the right balance.
Oh yeah. I mean, it comes with however many years of experience. I mean, they're up to 13 years of experience by now, or something like that, of making quests and making them right. And I think this is something that the more transparency that they've had, regardless of whether power to the players, the polling system, regardless of that or whatever, they've just been listening to us more over the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, they started their live stream, which they don't do much anymore. I really wish they did.
Buying 14-hour live stream.
Yeah. Hi, Stu. But yeah, but they just listened to us more, and especially with the feedback that we gave them from the One of a Kind, and then even some of the quests before that, like, they're just more in tune with what we kind of want, like, and they're finding the right balance. I think there's also quite a large amount of the technology that they're using is to a point where they're able to do what they want with regards to questing. Like
they were able to make this quest on a budget that was just for an event, and they managed to make the event too. And it was
on the size of Swept Away.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a nitpicky thing, but if you go and you examine the cages in the whatever, the 19th basement or whatever it is, because apparently Mod Ollie really likes basements.
You like basements.
Yeah. But yeah, if you examine that, it's a direct port from the Black Knight Fortress, and it just shows they had zero graphical budget. Mm-hmm. They were literally just taking stuff from other places, and I'm not complaining about that, because if that made the quest come out really fast and it was really good, like, who cares? Yeah. Except for Fusswell. Who cares?
Yeah, during the when Battler was streaming, I was in call with him. As I entered the basement, I was literally rattling off the basements, and I'm like, the basements, pits, basements, asylum, or something like that.
He quite literally prompted Jack's comment about, "Hey bro, I heard you like basements."
Yeah,
I heard you like basements.
It was great.
I was just like, go on the floor 60.
About that discussion about quests, I know during the year that they did a lot of remakes of quests, we complained a lot. But looking back on them now, they make that new player experience in terms of doing is so much better. But the problem is now you go from this great experience, these quests,
shitty one,
to these middle quests,
just the awful ones
over themselves.
Yeah.
Like, where they ask you to do a guide because they are the vaguest things on the planet.
Yeah, something I really want to ask, like Mod Osborne, if he can ever come on, is like, if you had unlimited budget, would you remake all of the quests over making new quests for like maybe 6 months to a year? Like, just focus everything on remaking.
Just like churning out old remakes of the old quests. Like the most notorious one was for me, the Fremnik Trials, because
God, yeah.
All right. Well, first
Fear the Seer.
Recruitment Drive was the bane.
Fear the Seer was pretty good. I liked that one. But Manny the Reveler. The Reveler, man.
What did he do?
I have no idea what what logical leap had to do in order to figure out you needed a cherry bomb from the guy who's directing you to the Fremennik province, but nobody ever talks to that guy.
You basically have to go to, like, the poison salesman in Sears Village to get a non-alcoholic drink, and then go trade, like, a beer casket with the dude near the bridge. Yep. Nothing points you in that direction. But at the time, it would have made sense, because there wasn't all of Candor in there. It was just
That's
like
true.
this little space.
Yeah, we do have to remember that when a lot of these quests were made in like 03, 04, 05, there wasn't any of the world map. Like, the world map is like a third of the size as it is now.
Yeah. So at the time, there wasn't a billion places you could go, but now, they're vague.
You're
and
like, where do I
you're
get
sitting
beer?
there like, okay,
where do I not get beer?
Yeah. I literally, he's beating me every time I try this. I don't know where to go. Google, help me.
Yeah.
But at the time, you'd be like, okay, where are their bars? Let's go check them out. Oh,
and there's like
Sears
3
Village,
bars.
that's close by.
And yeah, there are like 3 bars in the world, so it's like, okay. Well, whereas now there's like 15.
Exactly. Like, what was the closest one at the time? Sears Village.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's check it out. See if there's something there, and there was.
Yeah, I have issues with the quests similar to Recruitment Drive, which have the I like the concept of that quest, but the puzzle is use this on this on this on this in a specific order that doesn't really make sense, and then for some reason this works and everything falls into place. Yeah. And then couple that with the one thing that no man does this, so you have to figure out, oh well, I have to do a gender swap for this specific quest. Yeah. Which
I think my favorite example of there being way more NPCs than there were back then, and that screws over quests, was part of the Heroes quest, in which you're supposed to go and find a lava eel, and then you ask,
God,
how do you find a lava eel? And then the person tells you, maybe you should ask someone who knows about fishing.
Oh God!
You could go to the fishing skill cape guy. You could go to the guy in Longbridge who wasn't there back then. You could go to any of the dudes in Burthorpe and Taverley near where the quest starts.
Or the best thing is, you could talk to any of the Billion Fish Flingers guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which are at literally every fishing site now.
Yep. But no, you have to know to go to Port Saran and talk to that one guy.
Just one fishing salesman, and there are fishing salesmen everywhere.
You have
Another
to wonder
quest.
Go ahead. You have to wonder if we'll end up making comments like these about Plague's End in a few years' time.
Probably not.
No, because
these are designed better. These are designed as kind of the self-contained, where there's not going to be the you have to go and talk to vague person number whatever. And when there is that, they explain where said vague person is. The thing about One of a Kind is that it was globetrotting, but the areas that you went to
made sense
and were pretty obvious.
And then one would point to the other.
Yes.
So,
like for Wanted,
it was more like One Small Favor than like
Yeah.
Old
and
Quest
it was the
One
kind of
Small
stuff
Favor and Wanted
within.
does it well.
It was the puzzles within that were more of that kind of figured out yourself.
Yeah.
Like really figured out yourself. I like that. Even though
That's
I spent 2 freaking hours on that stupid Rust puzzle. Gah!
It's always the Rust, isn't it?
Yep.
That's actually why I'm super excited for the upcoming quest, Heart of Stone, that we'll talk about, because it sounds like a proper Globetrotter where we do a puzzle in each location and gain more information because of it.
But we'll talk more about Heart of Stone later.
Yeah,
exactly.
We should talk a little bit about the lore of this quest.
Yes.
So, first of all, if any of you didn't catch that, we have a Chthonian demon at the end of this quest. I guess not at the end, throughout all of it, we just didn't know it. Sinisianus, who is also the ghostly waifu, which is
Louis the Polite Demon.
Yes, Louis the Polite Demon. What is
also
his?
known as,
let me find
also
his
known
name.
as Chewie the Page 51 monster.
Yeah, Chewie the Page 51 monster. I love that name. But yeah, his full name is Sinicianus Aloysius Pamphilius, which is like a family name, and then Louis, and then a genus of sawfly, which may refer to his mouths, which he has like 30 of.
It turns out that he was apparently a very average citizen of Santistan until he accidentally ate a little girl.
Until he accidentally a little girl.
Yeah, and then he got locked up in an asylum right next to this guy named Don Lime.
Don Lime. I love it.
Hilariously, Don Lime can turn into Mod Line. Apparently,
No, it's Mod Mill. I checked.
Is it? Neil, okay.
But
every single name in that book except for yours turns into a mod name.
Oh, an anagram?
I'm
It
still gonna
anagrams
say-
into
Yeah,
it?
it's an anagram.
Nice.
I'm still gonna say that canonized me, and I know exactly how he got into the asylum. He was a demon.
Don't we all?
He was a demon who ate this really weird green fruit, and he suddenly thought he was the lord of all citrus.
Marimbo and Breast of Prime.
Actually, it's more
really
like-
happy about that.
It's more like he ate this really weird green fruit, and he immediately thought he was a pirate.
Yep.
An irate pirate.
Arr.
But then it turns out this entire time it was a watermelon.
Plot twist, Lime is a watermelon.
That would be great.
Oh god.
Name change for Lime confirmed.
Captain Watermelon.
Captain WTRMLON. Oh god, because you can't fit watermelon, so he has to shorten it.
Yeah, it's gotta be
Captain Melon.
Captain W.T. Melon.
No, it'd be WTR for water. WT could mean WT could
That's
be
true.
anything.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
W.T.R. Melon.
Captain
Walter
WTRMLN.
Sir Melon.
Walter Melon. Oh god.
I said that just as it appeared in the chat.
Walter Melon. Oh my god. Walter,
Chapter
please.
is an absolute gem.
We already have the Walter altar, which is where Gina and I get all our 99s.
Yeah.
And that still needs to be destroyed just to see what would happen.
Speaking of when you were there yesterday, a couple days ago, and I jumped in, I basically felt like Bat because I stepped in, I was ready to go, and then my internet died.
Rip.
It was like, well, I just got randomed by real life.
When I was trying to have my 99 party, it was like, so is everyone now getting picked off one by one by a demon?
Yeah, because I died. My internet died too. My DNS, the DNS server, whatever it is, just completely crapped out of my computer.
Fang died, then Carolyn died, then Thorlin lobbied out.
Yep.
And Cheryl disappeared while I wasn't looking.
It was impressive.
And suddenly Gina's looking around like, uh-oh.
I'm alone here.
Anyways.
While you two are busy getting your 99s at the water altar, we know where Lime isn't.
Yeah.
Getting his.
Not at Runefest.
Yeah. But, Quest floor.
Speaking of, I am now on the Curse of Ara.
Captain Walter Melon. Okay, anyways. But yeah, quest lore. So it's interesting, there is apparently a long discussion in the clan chat about Rowena and whether she even existed.
And I mean, it's pretty obvious she did at some point. Because he would have had to eat her.
Yeah, well, but
what if it was his insanity telling him he ate someone?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what if he actually was just nuts and
one day he just cracked.
He ate in his sleep.
Still, no matter if she was real or not, it's certainly kind of a interesting perspective of a demon where he thinks he feels so guilty that he goes completely insane and eats more people.
Yeah. But it wasn't, well, I mean, do we know that it was...
That was basically it. It's like Chick-fil-A with people.
Oh God, Chick-fil-A with people.
Eat more people.
I guess this is where the Soylent Green comes in.
Exactly.
But yeah, the thing is like, I mean this, but we don't know. But he didn't. Sinisianis wasn't even. Sinisianis wasn't around for when Ormod was doing his thing. He was only released when Ingram showed up.
Yeah.
He was busy snacking on the asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the asylum at the time.
He was busy snacking on Don Lime.
Online. Rip.
Nom nom nom.
But
I just
like
had this image in my head of like one of the mouths that's on the ground. If you flipped him over, there'd be like a lime peel stuck to one of the teeth.
Oh my God.
We will never forget that legend.
But yeah, especially what Walter says, where is it? Once you use the scroll on the monster in the quest, they're actually quite polite. The monster is this Chthonian demon. He realizes what he did. He says, by the 12, I killed her, I ate her, Rowena, I'm sorry. The guilt apparently drove him mad, which is, I guess it's kind of up for debate. It's one of those interesting things to debate.
Regardless, it was really...
And then the demon helps you with your stuff. Like, yeah.
If you were Shiraki, he ate another person.
Or Gina.
Yes.
To be fair though, like, I would feel a lot less bad if that lore book that Jack had written was in game. Because Ormod was kind of an ass.
Well, Ormod was a total ass.
I just wanted to eat people.
Yeah, but we didn't know the extent to which he was oh my God, like, Ormod just,
Ormod, why?
Ormod, what you do? Why you do this?
Yeah.
But,
You don't get that straight characterization in the game.
yeah, and the lore book that we're talking about on the forums is basically Ormod telling the story of his life as he's about to die, cause he's either about to poison himself or has already poisoned himself. And this was going to be in the otherwise empty room, empty chamber with the burial chamber underneath in one of the 38 basements.
It was actually in the first basement.
Yeah, it was in the first basement. It was just the one room that was easy to miss because you had the super long hallway and the one room off to the right. And you had to go down the super long hallway, but there's no reason to go to the right. So, it would be easy to miss.
I was curious.
Yeah, I did
but
too.
Interestingly, I noticed this when I was doing the speed run the second time. When I took my time, I went into the crypt, I looked around, and then when I peeked through that hole to see the code, there was a Zerosian symbol above it.
How did you miss it the first time?
The Zaru symbol.
No. But when I didn't go into the crypt during my speed run, there was no Zerosian symbol above
what?
code. Yeah. So, something about going into the crypt makes a Zerosian symbol appear above those.
Can I start spamming now?
I was, literally, I did it, and then all you could hear for about a minute was me going, Lornab confirmed? Lornab confirmed? I think Lornab's confirmed, because I caught up to him and got slightly ahead of him there.
Yeah.
And
I still finished the door puzzle in front of you.
I was freaking out about it, because I was like, why is this symbol here? And then when I redid it, he was still in call with me, and I'm like, Balor?
No, I
dropped out of the door by that symbol? Stage. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, well I said to somebody, why is there no Zerosian symbol here anymore?
Do you have a screenshot of that? Or
I
can
don't,
you get one?
But I can. I will get that later. Or at least I will try, but for some reason, there was not a Zerosian symbol the second time I did it. And the second time I did it, I didn't go into the crypt. The third time I did it, I did go into the crypt again, and the symbol was there. So unless I somehow glitched a symbol out of existence, I don't know.
Interesting. It sounds like either you glitched it, or it is a bug, or it's a really, really subtle thing that Jack intentionally did that doesn't seem to make sense, but maybe it'll all make sense in time.
I'm wondering if I triggered like some Easter egg or didn't trigger the Easter egg during my speedrun. I don't know. but it wasn't there the second time, and I was
Interesting.
very curious. I actually stopped. Like, I was running the speed run, and I stopped and went,
Wait
What?
a second.
this isn't right.
Why am I not spam? I mean, no, that would just be me.
Like, I stopped, I looked at it, I left, I looked back in, and it still wasn't there, and I'm like, okay, and then I kept going.
And
But it
throughout
was
our
just-
Skype call echoed a loud squeaking of Zaros confirmed.
Yeah.
Lornab, please.
But I don't know. Maybe it was a glitch, but it was weird. And
If memory
it
serves,
really
Jack
off.
said he wanted to include Lornab, but ran out of budget or something, or wasn't allowed to.
Probably wasn't allowed
Well,
to.
wait, I know the story. It's time for story time with Storyline, guys.
Oh boy!
Oh dear.
Oh boy!
We get
Wow.
to use the graphic again.
The best graphic.
Alright, so, we were talking with Mod Jack at RuneFest, and apparently, there was originally supposed to be like the face or the head or a tooth of Lornab in the place, but then Mod Jack got moved into, the microtransactions team? He got moved over there. And because he couldn't keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth between the two areas, in order to check up on everyone because it was slowing down progress, the graphics team had to move ahead anyways.
It was probably Mod Osborne that was like, oh, you're about to put
movement.
Lornab in something. No.
And, but it was tied in with the original story of the mansion, and the original story was that the owner, Ormod apparently, he was interested in the artifacts that would eventually become the dig site. It wasn't a dig site back then, it was just some random ruins. I compared it with the Parthenon and how the English went in and they just stole everything that they could. No offense to the English.
But you're assholes.
None taken.
I mean, no.
So, that's basically, so there would be a bunch of paraphernalia from the old ruins of Centistan and Serantium all the way in the mansion. And one of those artifacts would have been a Tooth of Lornab or a Paw of Lornab or something like that.
It'd be useful.
And just like
it'd be good in that trophy room.
yeah, it would have been cool
Yeah.
in that trophy room.
And so we got the Celestial Dragon head.
That was
And-
interesting though. Yeah.
On a side note, the reason that pretty much nothing is examinable in the entire mansion, well, pretty much nothing, is because of, like, the budget was so low that they couldn't create so many new items, so it all got moved into the environment.
Oh yeah, that's
Like-
what I mentioned
Yep.
with the Black Knight Fortress cage.
Like, no,
And the
like,
Sith Reed barrel.
the Celestial Dragon head is literally part of the wall. In terms
Yeah,
of,
it is.
and, yeah.
But you can
So-
examine it.
Oh, wait, no. Then it's not part of the wall.
You can
It was just
examine
like-
the
You
the
can
Celestial
examine it.
Dragon head. It
It
says
would
an
be-
unusual dragon head or something
It
is
would have
what it
been,
says.
like, it would have been like something else, like the bathtub. You know those bathtubs? They probably would have
Yeah.
been part of the floor in terms of code.
Was
Oh,
I the
the
only one who found it hysterical that there was space for toilets, but there were no toilets?
Yeah.
those sinks. It was like those sink things that were in those like bathroom-ish rooms. Those were unexaminable. I kept clicking on them like, why can't I examine this?
I was certain there was going to be like a dead fetus in one of the sinks as reference to the
What?
playable teaser for the new Silent Hill. Like I walked in there and I was certain it was supposed to be a reference to Silent Hill, and then nothing happened. And I was
Instead,
like,
you get a faceless maid.
yeah,
Because
was-
Ormod got bored and stole her face.
yeah, I was just like,
Dibs.
I was expecting it and it didn't happen.
So,
I still don't know how that works, but okay.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
did you guys see Mod Jack's reasoning for how the Celestial Dragon head ended up in the mansion?
Yep.
Wasn't it something about it accidentally time traveled?
And then accidentally tore itself apart or something?
Yeah,
It-
it was
where is it?
Oh, so it flinched itself.
Celestial Dragon head was completely unique when it was found, which is why it was purchased as one of the most prized trophies of the mansion. At the time, no one was able to identify where it came from, but with our knowledge that Celestial Dragons possess time manipulating abilities, we can make an educated guess. This dragon in particular probably attempted to send itself back in time, or did it accidentally, but was ripped limb from limb in process, leaving its head to be found centuries before their discovery.
And
So it
And
is
the-
Yes,
possible.
Walter.
It is possible that sometime in the future, a random celestial drag arm will hit us in the face.
whack.
Oh dear, I can see something like that happening in the 200th quest now.
What Walter also said is they really should have just made it a white dragon head so we could hate our Ormod even more.
Exactly.
Support this.
Please talk to your doctor if your condition's worse when looking at the celestial dragon head.
Just talk to your doctor.
So Broken Home confirms. The Broken Home confirms that Celestials can splinch themselves.
Oh my god. But yeah, rip celestial dragon.
Yeah.
It probably attempted to send itself back in time. And if, I like the intentionally or not part. It may not have even known what it was doing.
Like just, I'm a little peckish. Let's see what this power does.
What does this button do? Poke.
Yeah. That was
Press the
basically
big red button.
It could have started with the phrase as innocent as, "Hey guys, watch this and hold my beer."
That'll never end
no
well.
hands. Charles, where'd you go?
Or, this could
Charles.
never go wrong.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh jeez.
I think that Celestial Dragon name should have a name now.
How about Charles? Charles
No,
Xavier.
I say we name it Dave.
Its head isn't big enough though.
Evil Dave. Oh man.
Evil Dave's brother.
It's Evil
No, we
Dave's
should
brother.
make-
Normal Dave.
This is normal
cool.
Dave. He was
His face
normal
is not
before.
big enough to be a Dave.
Random thought. If Evil Dave had a brother that was Normal Dave, would Normal Dave be Osborne?
Probably not.
There is
No.
nothing normal about Osborne.
See Elfborn. Oh man.
Yep.
Anyways, we'll probably mention Elfborn again when we talk about the BTS stuff. But is there anything else we need to talk about lore-wise? We haven't talked
We
a
didn't
whole
really talk
lot.
about the asylum much. We mentioned
We
it
don't have
briefly,
much
but
detail on the asylum other than that it was a thing.
that's true. It's so tantalizing.
Yeah.
There's
But I
just
mean-
going down under this mansion and then finding a giant pit. Just had me sitting there going, oh my god.
Yeah.
Then we go down this pit and find this creepy asylum and I'm like,
It wasn't that creepy.
that's
The house
never-
itself was a hell of a lot more creepy than the asylum was.
Creeping me out about the asylum was there was this constant dragging noise in the background.
Oh, I did hear that.
I was like constantly, it never stopped. I was
But
certain
I was
we were
wondering when the monster would
something.
pop out and eat us.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was certain we were going to run into something, and I was really surprised that nothing was. We never ran into something alive down there.
I did not.
Chest.
I did not catch the dragging noise because at that point I got too scared and I started playing the Cantina band music in order to cheer me up.
Wow, Lime.
There was
Wow.
this constant chain dragging noise down there, so I was like certain that we would have to go into a cell with something on the wall, and you'd have to like dodge away from it as it kind of tries to grab at you. Oh, I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah, wasn't that in a way scarier?
But yeah, just the not knowing, it was so much fun.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I heard that, but I don't think I thought much of it. I was like, oh, whatever, it's just...
My suspicion senses were just going crazy. I'm the type of person that will be tired at 3 a.m. and go, let's watch a horror movie.
Yeah, that is a terrible idea.
It's
This
great.
is actually a terrible idea.
That's pretty.
Why would you do that?
I'm a bit of a horror movie masochist, I suppose.
Fair enough. Okay.
A couple of weeks ago I couldn't sleep, so I watched Annabelle.
Right. Okay, well, that's a thing. That happened.
Thing.
But yeah, so you have all of this stuff. I think the room that creeped everybody out probably the most was the one you couldn't look in, because you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go in there, and there's no idea. And wasn't it like a dead room? Like there's nothing
Yeah.
in it?
There was nothing at all in it.
Oh, it was the
My
room
entire
with the,
reaction
oh, it was the
was
room
like,
with the
wait,
bed
why?
and the hidden,
That's right.
and the hidden staircase.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then
And
it had the
the
bathroom
attached
that
to it
had
was
nothing in
completely
it.
useless. Yeah. That's the room that I thought was supposed to be the PT reference, which is the P, whatever the heck it is. The thing from Silent Hill. The upcoming Silent Hill. I was so ready for something creepy to happen, the door to slam, and I walk in there and I'm like,
There's nothing in here.
any moment now, something's gonna happen.
Nope.
I'm ready.
I do want to mention before we move on, in Mod Jack's unapproved lore book, this is considered canon right now, right? Like
Yes.
it's been, yeah.
Yeah.
We're considering it.
He's basically trying to find a way to put it in the game.
Yeah.
Along with
I mean, it's a gigantic gigantic. Like, if you read all of it,
It's fantastic.
it is a long thing, and we know why the translation team doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Or why he ran out of budget for the translation team to do it. But it's basically like him saying, oh yeah, I was a salesman and I worked too much, so my wife died, and then I worked too much, and I had a temper, so I killed my servant, and then I forgot about my kid, and my kid died. And what was the quote?
And then he blamed it on the servant.
No, he said, quote unquote, by that time he was quite dead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was a salesman and a professional asshole.
Yep.
I love the way he treats
So
the
he was a
wizard tower.
salesman.
I made it clear to them that this was some sort of curse or their magical malady to blame, and they labored to create a spell to remove it. They failed. Their excuse was that they didn't have an explicit understanding of what had befallen me, but I named them as the faithless traitors that they were and sent them away.
And then he wondered why the wizard's tower wouldn't help him later.
Yeah.
Like,
So he
are
goes
you
to,
that
like, tribal
dumb?
shamans and stuff, and then he finds the creepy door underneath his house digging, and then he goes back to them and they're like, helping you.
We're not,
GTFO.
And he
we're not
complains
doing
about
this.
that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
To
basically,
make
they
their-
compounded their earlier mistake by refusing to even speak with me.
well, to be honest, it was the Wizards Tower's fault for not having a good customer support team.
Oh, jeez.
Tellson Wizard Tower support.
Olivia Heap decided to pass on the wisdom of his discovery to his servants before they rested so they need not suffer as he had. And to make their final hours more entertaining, I sealed the mansion and hunted them down. What the
He's insane.
like, what?
I just want to go back to that door thing. Have you tried turning it off and on?
Yeah.
Have you tried turning it
Is
off
the
and on?
power on?
Jack for
Oh,
bad
my
luck,
computer's
legacy
not working.
door mode within the mansion.
Yep.
Hello,
like
this
it's
is
the door-
IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
And there's the Carapac. He got Carapacked from the Wizard's Tower.
The thing that catches my eye about this book as well is he totally just name drops his sister. He doesn't say, to my sister, no, he said, to my sister, Bryaka, or whatever. I'm curious why Jack named her.
It's a legal document. It was the last will, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I totally missed the title here.
That's actually like one of those little. It's a legal document, so you'd expect something like that, which is
I was,
a
like, not
very
paying attention
very
back then.
subtle thing that is a nice touch.
I
But I
totally
think-
missed Ormond's last will and testament in all bold and
Yeah,
caps
it's
at the
last
top.
will. Fantastic.
nice reading thing.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well played.
Become a talent of mine.
GG no re.
No, read. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so is that pretty much everything we want to cover? Walter!
Okay.
Missed.
Did we
So,
miss anything?
Okay, I just want to say
Give
that,
me a hand, and he links Clarence's hand. So Orange just posted in chat, Ormond saying, hey, give me a hand, and the Magic Guild, and he links the Magic Guild picture of Clarence's hand. Oh my god,
Oh,
why? Or no, that was Hablet. That wasn't Orange, that was Hablet.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was Hamlet.
Ernst
I-
was dead. Carapac.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, I just felt the need to mention that
Gina,
Gina, quit
Windows,
hurking for
sorry,
a
I was
second.
hurting.
get to the point.
Those Zara windows of pain.
Yeah.
The pink stars are falling.
Yes, first it made me glow purple, which is a bad sign if
Spam,
you know what I'm talking about.
spam. Anyways, go on.
And yeah, that's just one part I wish wasn't there for causing damage. That's about it.
Oh, the windows causing damage? Yeah. It wasn't consistent, so I was like, I don't know why this is a thing. I didn't understand that. Because I know it's like the front side of the house, the entire front side causes
the
damage.
lobby, the foyer, and then that one, there were two other rooms that had shattered windows in them.
Yeah, I think it was the front side of the house, in general. Because I think the entire
no.
front side...
Wait. No, because the room that shattered was in the back, then it was the foyer, And then
No,
it
you
was
heard the
the
shattering.
hidden room in the piano room, which is also in the back of the house.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any sense then.
Just a bunch of broken windows. Basically, anywhere that there was a window broken and this vortex magical thingy could get inside, it did.
Yeah,
And
but
anywhere that
then,
was
like,
sealed
why?
back,
There
it
had
did.
to have been a reason for them to break, because the windows randomly broke in the middle of the quest. And
it
some
was a
of them
reference to, what was it? I'm totally blanking out on the series. Resident Evil.
did. Oh.
It was a Resident Evil reference.
Oh, then I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Alright, but anyways, I think that pretty much covers everything. Oh, I do want to say that, rip Lime, and all Mac users, because the way that Macs
Yeah.
run
There's-
RuneScape is that they're slow to load these things,
There's a
so...
little lag every time you load an instance. So, like, it'll be black, but you have your minimap. So that means that as soon as you are able to actually see anything, Chewie comes and eats you.
Sinisianus has a snack.
But fortunately, if you spam click before you actually think about it, then you are able to avoid Chewie.
So you eventually, by process of dying many times, learned how to do that.
No. What I did was, and I think this was really creative. I hovered my mouse right when I was dying the previous time. I measured exactly where to hover my mouse so that I could spam click the door once I got in, and I just oriented my screen so that I wouldn't have to move the mouse.
Fair enough.
That was clever.
Yeah, Walter wants us to mention the thief. But underneath, in the trophy room, underneath that bear, apparently there was a thief that got caught and was down there for long enough to put 306 marks on the wall. What each mark is, don't know. And then
I love how somebody counted all of them.
yeah, well, I mean, there was in streaks of 5, so I mean, it wouldn't be
Still
that
had to
difficult to
count
count them.
It was the same
And
texture
Walter
on-
counted them.
It was the same texture on 3 walls, so you only had to do one wall and you could multiply it by 3.
But yeah, so this guy apparently lived down there for long enough to do 306 marks on the wall, and Walter wants to know how he lived that long, and my answer is just magic.
Well, mystery meat, you mean?
Oh, that too. Mystery Meat's pretty OP.
Maybe we should talk about Mystery Meat.
Oh, and his body isn't decayed, which means it was
That was
recent.
creepy, actually.
I didn't think about it. I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay.
Should we talk about Mystery Meat?
How ridiculously OP it is?
Yes.
I would think it more
Mystery
about
Meat
the
is the
interaction
strongest
with the
food in the game.
Yeah, and it's human meat.
It's
Do we know that?
Well,
Yes.
here's what, if you get you know what the special ability of the Asylum Doctor's Ring is, or the
No.
Surgeon Asylum's. Alright.
Basically.
Kill humanoid monsters, it will drop undercooked, mystery meat, I believe.
Yep.
If you kill humanoid monsters, like Black Knights or White Knights or
Or armored
Goblins,
zombies.
zombies.
Maud Wilson was involved with this quest, so this is to be expected.
Yeah.
Walter, please. Yeah, I'm reading the rewards now. I skimmed through the rewards because I was like, yeah, whatever.
He is right. The last quest that...
And Fang cut out.
ever.
Say that again, Fang, you cut out.
Guys?
What? So yeah, that ended poorly. We're gonna blame the chair on that and take that as a sign that we should probably move on. So we're pretty much done with Broken Home anyway. But yeah, so my internet died. But yeah, so we're back and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about the November BTS right quick. Elf City Part 2 is coming out, and it will be getting its own cast again because Elf City Part 2. However, we've already spammed about it, 6-7 times in previous Seercasts, so we're not going to go into detail now much. It is worth mentioning, though, I don't think we knew this before, but the Adimu are confirmed to drop a new type of pet. A new pet, a new type of ash, and the blood necklace in the dungeoneering.
Surface blood
whatever.
necklaces? What?
Is that...
Yep.
What? Which level dungeon? That's the 95 one, right?
Don't know.
Of course, it's irrelevant to 120 here. But
Yeah. Also, the Motherlode Maw now requires not only 115 dungeoneering, but effectively 95 in every other skill. It requires 2490 total level. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be seeing that for a while.
Inventor, please come out soon so we can all cheat mode that.
Well,
Thanks.
anyways.
Invention doesn't
well-
exist anymore.
Yeah,
That
Inventor-
We have to
implies
vote on it still.
that implies that Inventor will be its own skill, but that will be pulled.
That will be
Don't tell it that.
anyways. Don't tell it that. Anyways, there's
And to be
also...
honest, I think I'm going to wager that it's going to end up being parts of different skills.
It probably will be.
Yeah.
But anyways, we talked about that last week, or 2 weeks ago, or however long ago that was. But yeah, so also there's going to be a treasure trail rework that we were promised a while ago.
Thank God.
They've made a bunch of new treasure trails, which means probably means more locations. They've updated the items to complete the treasure trails. People will be able to re-roll rewards or improve rewards on future trails, which is nice. And there's also cool new rewards like explosive barrel backpacks, and I quote from the thread, which is, I guess, for very inaccurate Diddy Kong cosplays.
Thanks, Walter.
Thank you,
I don't think
Walter.
that's ever gonna get over.
Dies for level 90 gear so you can play Fashionscape, and updated rewards lists in general. Also, barrows and third age gear can be dyed as well.
The additional bonuses for those dyes is, once you've dyed a level 90 armor, it does not degrade to dust. You just have to fully repair it.
Oh. That's
Yeah,
nice.
so it
Actually, have you used-
it goes down to 0% and doesn't degrade to dust. So I mean, you don't have to like super cautious about, oh, I just dyed this armor, I spent like 1 bill on this epic looking dye, and then I forgot to repair my armor. I just flushed away a mill. No, they go to 0 and you have to repair them from there.
Can you repair them
So-
before they hit 0?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Because
you can do that.
sometimes that wasn't a possibility. So.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, yes.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, but they did
It
say
probably
that
does.
they're gonna now degrade to 0% only when you have a die on them.
I just love that. I just love that explosive barrel backpack for an inaccurate Diddy Kong cosplay. Yes,
That's right.
Walter.
My
There's also just an
that's
updated
great.
rewards list in general because, spending 45 minutes for 200k for an elite clue, it kinda sucks.
Yeah.
So there's
That'll
a
be-
week I'm holding
with
my
your,
bank. Should I just pay that later?
Say that again, Gina?
I've got an elite clue on me. Is there a point in waiting for it?
Yes. I would wait.
Okay, yes,
you'll
as
get
long as it
third
affects
age
once
druidic.
you're holding, I'm fine.
Third Age Druidic, let's go. But yeah, so those are the treasure trail reworks. We know that was coming for a while. I guess the update that we haven't talked at length about that is most important is
The quest.
the quest. The Elder God Research Quest, Heart of Stone, is coming out. It's a, novice level or something? Requires
It's
20...
intermediate.
Intermediate?
It's
It's intermediate.
not introducing.
Yay.
As if it matters. It requires 25 rune crafting, 35 magic, and completion of Carnelian Rising, which I find interesting, and rune memories. So, it's almost like, okay, so we're going to have either Ariane, Xenia, or Philippe, or all of the above
All of
in this
them.
quest.
I always
And-
knew there was something about that Henrietta Carnelian.
I think, oh my god. I think, from what Mark said was, is a hero goes insane, and
Steals a scroll.
steals a
a
scroll
scroll.
that is really important and can
It
really...
will teleport the Abyss into Gielinor, and that sounds really bad.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
really bad.
And you are joined by a line bot with a unique ability to track down a teleport spell, this teleport spell. But it sounds like you're teaming up with the Wizard's Tower, so Ariane might be there to help, and Philippe was the one that may have gone insane, or probably not, just didn't know what he was getting into, and got his hands on this scroll that he really shouldn't have. It sounds like a very Philippe thing to do.
Like,
It
yeah,
does.
like,
it
an
really
adventurer.
sounds like he accidentally got this scroll somehow. Whether
It
he
sounds
knew
like a
he
sweet thing,
yeah.
but he can be spread out across the world to get your rewards, which makes me think it's not him.
Well,
Maybe
he
this
very
was part
well
of his
he,
99 thieving party.
he easily could have he easily could be added in different places though after the quest. Like
Well, I mean, he is
Like,
after
basically-
Carnelian Rising.
basically
He's all over the world for those rewards.
well then there you go.
Yeah. So, well, like, he goes to each location as he's leveling up, which makes me think that instead it's either Zinnia or Ariane here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Xenia.
That makes the most
I'd
sense to me.
forgotten
Well,
that Xenia was a part of that.
Yeah, they basically
I
have...
could see it be
they're,
Xenia
they're
too
having
though.
us finish... They're having us finish the Ariane and the Xenia quest series. And since we already know the Wizard's Tower is fully tied into this, it makes sense to pay attention to that Carnelian Rising requirement.
Oh wait, I don't think it's going to be finished per se. Like
I don't
this
think
is
it's
going.
finished.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, they're having us complete their entire series up to now. So every quest that she's involved in. And
Yes.
Rune Memories is on there because we're going to the Wizard's Tower. It's stolen from the Wizard's Tower, and we're getting a Rune Golem from the Wizard's Tower.
Well,
But because it's stolen
really,
from the Wizard's Tower, I could also see Ariane, but I don't want to believe that it's Ariane.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But she can't go inside the tower anyway, aside from,
She
rising
can't
up.
get in. She can't go into the tower
Yeah.
because she's banned.
So there's, yeah, that would be really confusing as to how she stole it. So
Banned because demons.
But it also really
I'm-
seems like
go ahead.
Shiraki, go ahead.
it seems to me like a really Xenia type of thing to do.
It does.
Of, like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
like in
where she-
essence, like both of her quests have been like her somewhat like doing something generally like wild or unorthodox to
She-
get to prompt us into adventure and stuff like that.
Yeah,
in
she
quests.
in the entire Philippe in the Carnelian Rising, she basically manipulated Philippe and us and the adventure to do whatever, or to go down in that dungeon, and then she
She was the
messed
reason
with
for
it
the
and-
other.
yeah
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was the one. She, in order to prompt Philippe into becoming an adventurer.
yeah.
Yep. So she basically has constantly set us up to do things that
Mhm.
she thinks that we should be doing. So, I mean, that screams Zinnia to me.
Yeah, it does.
The Carnelian Rising doesn't really tie into anything we know about this quest.
Yeah.
So it really, I mean, Zinnia seems to be the one that would be
Yeah.
the well-known hero, especially because she's the one with the most decorated past.
Yeah.
Also, doesn't she have an affiliation with the wise old man?
She doesn't know him. Yeah,
I don't know.
And
she calls him. She calls him Dizzy in like one of her dialogues.
That's
Well,
true.
I think maybe where did like Xenia, the Wise Old Man, and whoever was Radimus Urkel, were they the ones who founded the Legends Guild?
They said,
Yeah.
well, Xenia specifically said guilds,
Yeah.
like many guilds. So I suspect that she also founded the Heroes Guild and the Champions Guild.
But it's usually only been implied that it was between her and Radimus. So I don't know.
I do not know either.
But she's definitely the most well-known of all of the signature heroes. She's the one that's been around the longest. She's the one that's kind of set up all the others for greatness. She's that mentor, so she would be that well-known hero.
Like, she's creating the next signature heroes, because her generation of heroes, which ones were they? Dionysus, Rhamidus, Urkel,
Zinni.
Zenovidia.
Yeah.
They are all near their end. Like, they are all towards the end of their life. We need a new set of heroes.
And she's kind of like the mentor for all of them.
She's like,
So yeah,
alright,
she seems to fit the bill the most in my head.
I can see that. There will be combat in this as well as puzzles. The final boss will involve a puzzle.
also,
during-
there will be golems.
Yes, there will be line bots.
Will be line bots.
A line
And
bot.
I found it suspicious that, Rune Mechanics was not involved in this.
What?
Yeah,
Like the quest
guys,
literally-
Oh yeah,
The quest
Rune
will be
Mechanics
built-
has been just ignored.
that would have been a perfect thing to have it come from
Well, I
Rune Guard.
suspect there's a reason why there isn't. It isn't there.
Oh, that quest. Oh, okay. I'm
They
like,
did
what
it, and it
quest
was-
are you talking about? Oh, it's
Yeah.
the one with the golems.
Where we build a rune golem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually really surprised that they didn't like
I forgot
try
that
and
quest
tie it into the
existed.
Rune Memories Mysteries. Because we're not building.
Yeah,
golem,
Walter
it's
says we must be using the golems from the old tower. I mean, there's one guarding the door,
Yeah.
so they obviously still have some.
we rediscover how to make them in rune mechanics anyway.
But yeah, during the quest, players will find out more about the Elder Gods and learn their motivations and origins via relics hidden around RuneScape. And their origins, question mark?
Maybe. We don't know. We're just going to be learning more about the Elder Gods. During the session with Mod Deg at RuneFest, I asked what were some good mechanics that they thought about and any of that were coming out, and if they could tell them to us. I put that as a side note. And Mod Deg went, yeah, I have some favorite mechanics.
But I can't tell you.
No,
It sounds.
No, I know. I have some favorite mechanics.
It
Period.
definitely sounds like they're finally trying to test out the combination of puzzle and boss at the same time with this, though.
Well, they did that with the,
situation.
with Plague's End.
No, they did fight a boss, complete a puzzle, fight a boss, complete a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, you saw a bunch of it. You saw a bunch of that with Dungeoneer. Like the Rune
Yeah.
game.
This one definitely, like, they specifically said that even the boss fight includes a puzzle, so I'd really like to see something where we're actively solving a puzzle while actively fighting something.
You have to fight a sliding puzzle.
It fights
Isn't that what dungeoneering is, though? Where you mess up the
most of
sliding
damage
puzzle
you
and
take
it
now is from
deals
puzzles.
you 2k damage?
Most of the damage you take in dungeoneering is from puzzles anyway.
Yeah. Or doors hitting you in the face.
Or doors.
Kicked for failing a strength door.
Oh dear.
But yeah. It says, so obviously the boss would be weaker, but it is an intermediate, so it's perfect. So yeah.
Yeah.
Would be a good place to test. If it is somehow broken, which it likely will be day one, it usually is. RIP lower level players, RIP Iron Man, but,
Rip combat.
yeah. We'll see if it even is combat scaled, because there's some things that may not even need it. If they don't even want to play around with combat scaling for testing something like this, if it is a test even. Yeah. But, yeah, so I think that pretty much covers what we wanted to mention. Is there anything else with Heart of Stone that we want to say?
Not really, I'm just eager for more information.
Yeah, I am too. I really
excited.
want to learn more about this, so I can Zerub spam more.
In terms of gameplay, it sounds like it's going to be a combination of One of a Kind and Wanted, to me.
I don't remember
Yeah.
anything about Wanted, so...
Wanted, you basically had to figure out which location to go to next, and it gave you clues.
Yeah.
maybe.
That was a good example of, like telling you where to go, because it gave you these hints that weren't incredibly vague, but you could still kind of work it out if you know the world well.
Like, some wolf hide, so you had to go to Canopus.
A blue cape, so you go to the Champions Guild.
Sure.
A blue cape comes from Nomad's Requiem, but okay.
No, that was one of the things was they give you a blue cape and look, oh, the Champions Guild.
That...
Because they wear blue capes in Champions Guild. Can confirm, I literally did Dragon Slayer a week ago.
That's true. That's very
That
true.
is where they sell them, and that is where nobody in the game has gone for...
years,
Force
except
bump.
for when you randomly get a champion scroll.
Yeah.
See, my wish was that instead of giving you a blue cape, he gave you a champion scroll. And then when you get there, Oziak takes it and says, "Where'd you get this from? This isn't yours," and tears it up.
It'll be such a troll.
Like,
Oh.
it's not challenging you, it's challenging him.
Yeah. Rip.
And he gives you his champion.
As
It's an imp one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a leprechaun one.
Oh my god.
He's
Anyways,
the freak anyway.
I think that covers pretty much everything we wanted to talk about. So, we will be back. Do we know if Elf City is this week or is it next week? Is this week a no update?
I think this week
This
is actually
week is
no
patch.
update.
Yeah, it'd be like patches.
Yeah, it
Because
sounds
the way
like
they phrased the BTS. They're saying next week they're doing the Priff BTS, so that implies it's not this week.
yeah.
See, they did say that Perthanos will be the first update of this month. So if it's not coming out on Monday, because they said there's going to be a game update Monday, then it's on the 10th.
Yeah. But if it is this week, then we will have a podcast again next weekend, and we will be spamming about this for likely hours because there will be voice acting and we will be spamming, and yes, it'll be awesome.
And 40 more titles.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Titles.
Vindictus
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for my Coden title.
But
I want to see the title that Stu and Raven have clearly worked on together. It won't be easier to find than last time.
it won't be easier to find than last time. Also, I missed the second Raven, or the third Raven. God damn it.
I missed the
haven't
second.
got
I
any
have
of them.
two now.
I missed
I only
I missed the
missed it
second
because
and
I
the third.
slept.
The first and the third.
I have none of them.
Rip.
I have one.
I've missed so many just from sleeping so long that by the time someone mentioned it, I wouldn't have a chance.
Then again,
Yeah.
I hate Dark Elf
the way
because I
this
like
fucking-
torturing
It's
Sarah.
like I have to know what the night it's happening, otherwise I won't get it.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so we'll be back either next week or 2 weeks from now with a Priff podcast. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter at Seercast. Subscribe here. Leave feedback and stuff in the comments section or tweet at us again at Seercast. And we will see you guys next weekend or 2 weekends from now. Next time. So yeah. Bye guys.